Making the money is easy. It is the mindset that's the challenge. Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday. Bill with Tanya live. I hope you guys are doing well this evening. I'm going to take a moment just to share the broadcast out. And while I'm doing that, as you come in, let me know, what type of business do you own? How do you serve in the marketplace? How do people get to experience your gifts? Put that in the comments. Replay viewers, hello, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. You can still comment. I respond, even if you're not catching me live. Number two, if it's not your first time, we do hashtag renew, because that's what we're doing all the time around here. We are renewing our minds because that is how our lives are transformed. And thirdly, whether you're one or two, you can always be three as well. And that is to share the broadcast out with someone else who could use this money mindset message. How is everyone doing? So this subject is so intertwined with a lot of things that I like talking about. One is money. Two is something that I hear all the time, and I battled with myself in my past. And when I see it creeping in, there are a few thoughts that I have. And anyway, that's procrastination. I'm going to drop that in there while we're sharing this evening. And then just mindset, period. I love talking about all things mindset, because everything that we do, everything that we have, all of the results in our business and in our life are based on our mindset. And for as much as we may feel that making money is the hard part, is actually only a small percentage of the equation. Over 80% of, the results that you have are based on your thinking, your mindset. And so we're going to talk about that. So first of all, many of you have goals and things that you want to achieve and you want to attain. And you may beat yourself up sometimes because you're like, okay, I'm procrastinating again, and I'm not doing the things that are necessary. But I want you to know that procrastination is really another word for mental resistance. So in the coaching realm, we call it mental resistance because it's really all up here. And I don't feel that you have a procrastination problem. Y'all don't hear me. I don't. I feel you have a truth problem. And we're going to talk about that one this evening. I'm going to do a quick introduction for those of you who've never joined us for Bill with Tanya Live before. I am Tanya Wilson-Cherry, the growth strategist, business coach, life coach, and mentor to women service-based business owners just like yourself. I help women to build businesses that fund their lifestyle and not run their lifestyle. So time freedom is one of my top 5 values. Freedom, period, is one of my values, but time freedom is one of my top 5 values. And many of the women who work with me value their time freedom as well. Now, this may not be showing up in their business, right? They may want time freedom, but it's not showing up in their business the way that they desire. Well, if there is time freedom, then the income may not be there. So I help women create businesses that fund their lifestyle and not run their lifestyle, meaning we build time-rich businesses that are extremely profitable, right? I believe that we should make a lot of money. That's just how I feel. If you believe the same thing, put me in the comments. I know that money is a subject that is uncomfortable for some people, but I believe that God wants us blessed, right? I don't believe God wants us poor. I don't believe that's the will of God for our life. And so I'm going to talk about money as it relates to how difficult it may feel to, break that glass ceiling, get to the next level, whatever your thoughts may be around money. But one of the things I found in my entrepreneurial career, I didn't do like an introduction. Did I fully do an introduction? I did, I think. But anyway, I've been an entrepreneur for about 28 years. And it amazes me every single time I say that, because the realization of that, and for many of you who have been self-employed or business owners for a long time is we create our own money. Like we haven't depended on anyone to create our revenue for us. So every time I think about the fact that I've been doing, entrepreneurship for 28 years, I'm like, wow, I've created my own revenue for 28 years now. And 10 of those years, I was a business owner. I owned a brick and mortar service based business. I had a full on staff of about 12 people who I was so blessed to lead. I'm actually, as we kind of roll into next month, I'm going to bring some of my old staff members on um, one of our lives or a few of our lives. I'm excited about that, right? Because many of them I haven't talked to in quite some time, although I have a few who every Christmas, every holiday, and this has been years, like over, has it been over a decade, 2003? Not quite over a decade, but many of them, it's been a long time since they actually worked with me in my company. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. And I was telling you that I led a team of about 12 staff previously prior to coaching and consulting full time. And I felt a burning desire because that's one of the things that you need if you're wanting to get to your next level, whether it's money, a lifestyle change, career change, whatever it is, you need a burning desire. And so I had a burning desire on the inside of me to evolve. And I no longer operate in the industry I was in before. And guys, that wasn't super easy, right? Because I've been doing that. It was a secure space for me financially for many, many years. And I felt led. I felt a call. And not only that, it was in my journal. So during my prayer time, I heard the word consulting, had no idea how it related to what I was previously doing. I let it sit in my journal for about 2 years. And, I don't know how many of you know what it feels like to be called to something else, but you're still doing this other thing. It's like this constant phase of almost burnout that you feel. So, I mean, it may start with like every year you start feeling like, you don't really want to do that thing anymore. And then it's every 6 months, and then it's every 3 months. And then it's like every month you go through this phase where you're like, this just isn't working for me anymore. Well, if you haven't been to that phase, when it's time for you to transition, those are some of the feelings that you get. And that's what was clearly transpiring for me. I have been asked by people in my community to help them with their business. And come to find out, I've been, consulting. I whispered that, right? Because I just didn't simply understand that what I was sharing naturally was monetizable. And so, in the process of me helping women to create businesses that they love, many women find that they are in transition. They're either ready to up level what they're doing, they want to change their role in their business or their business model. I've worked with people who own multiple businesses, but still was so hands on and they needed systems put in place in their business so that they could become more of a visionary and get to that time freedom space that we talked about. And then I've helped many to add an additional stream of revenue by creating coaching programs and courses based on their intellectual property. So that is what I do in a nutshell. And there are 3 areas that I coach and teach from in specific, and those are abundance mindset. So that's my baby, personal growth and business building. And when we get those 3 in alignment, everything in our life shifts, even the ease and flow of how money comes into our life. But one of the things that really, really happened for me as I transitioned into coaching and consulting was learning that making money was a lot easier than I thought it was. Prior to that, especially early in my career, I was trading time for dollars. Now, once I owned a business, I had staff who we duplicated the processes and they were working for me, but I was still working, right? I still had played a hand in, trading time for dollars. Not nearly as much as I did before, but I was still there. Whereas As I began to shift to coaching and consulting, I realized that if I wanted more money, I didn't always have to get more clients. I also experienced earning in 15 minutes what would take me weeks to earn previously, like in the 4K range. And so a lot changed for me about money. And what happens as you continue moving on to new income levels, not just how much money you're making, but how you're earning the money as well, something begins to shift. And you begin to understand that, making money isn't the hard part. It's actually the mindset that's super challenging. And one of the things that I think a lot of people, not even think, a lot of people deal with is one of the things I help my clients in particular with, and that's procrastination. So, what I want to say, if you feel that procrastination is something that you battle with, if you feel that you start things and don't finish them, if you feel you start a lot of projects, even, I want you to think about this. I don't think you have a procrastination problem. What I feel you have is a truth problem. I'm going to say that one more time. I don't feel you have a procrastination problem. I feel what you have is a truth problem. I was thinking earlier before the broadcast, I was out on my deck and I was just kind of thinking about the conversation I was going to have with you all. And I was thinking about like an early stage of when I came online. And I don't know how many of you may have experienced this before, but there were so many things that I can do and ways that I could do things, and everybody was doing their thing. And the internet was coming up with all these different methods and platforms and all the things. And as long as I stayed in that flow of just watching so much of what was going on around me, I would feel this urge to kind of change what I'm doing. Is it just me? Have you ever experienced that as well, being on social media? And maybe you see something and maybe you haven't realized that that's what you're doing. But when I got a hold of the fact that I may have felt I needed to do something different or switch something or change something, I realized where that constant thing was coming from. And it was from me watching other people. So one of the things we have to do is learn to be inspired without having to move. Learn to be inspired without having to move. So someone can inspire you, but it doesn't mean that you need to change your brand and your business and all the things that you're doing because everyone else is doing it. I believe businesses is a very spiritual practice that we go through, the whole process of building a business and really getting centered on our own brand and who we are. And so when I realized that, my mind was shifting about what I wanted to do, and it was based on external things that I was seeing so easy on social media. Now, I don't know how many of you all going to put me in the comments, but I know that many of you struggle with that. I watch, I see, I work with people. I remember one conversation where a young lady shared with me that she did so many things. And I think I actually have a video of like a coaching call where she kind of briefly talked about it. But she said she kept expanding her business. Well, she thought she was, but she just kept doing new things because she would see someone doing something that she was doing. And then she felt that she had to switch. So some of you may do that, or you'll do the opposite, the reverse, which is what I talked about before. And when I say you don't have a procrastination problem, you have a truth problem, one of the main things that the core reason that I say that is because I feel that so many people are doing things they don't want to do, that are completely out of alignment with who they are. I feel that our culture has a huge impression on, how we move and have our being here in the world. And it's easy, right, to fall in that trap. And what happens when you're out of alignment, when you're doing things that aren't your unique DNA, they're not really in alignment with who you are as a brand, you will procrastinate. And here's a few reasons why. So whenever we're working on things that aren't aligned with us, I'll give you an example. So I garden. I love, love, love to garden. And I've been kind of sharing my journey, with gardening. And some people look at gardening like I ain't getting out there and put my hands in the dirt. It's just not my type of thing. Whereas someone else, like myself, sees gardening as a time of peace, a time to meditate, talk to God, get downloads from God. And also, I get such a huge amount of fulfillment knowing that the meal that's on the table, I actually grew. So it's several things that happen for me. So some people think gardening is sexy. I do. And some people not so much. And if we listen to what's popular or what's not necessarily considered the end thing to build our life and our business around, we will often do things that are out of alignment with who we are. Now, there are many reasons that people procrastinate. We're talking about mindset. Remember, I said procrastination is mental resistance. I'm going to put that in the comments. Procrastination is mental resistance. Procrastination is mental resistance, right? So mindset, remember I said the money part is easy. The challenging part is the mindset. That's the biggest challenge that most people have. 85% or more of what you do, your success, is based on your thinking. And the other is just what you do behind the thinking. So oftentimes when we're doing things that are really out of alignment, I don't think enough people have really uncovered what feels great to them, what feels good to them. And some of the things that feel great to you might not be the most popular thing. It may not be like super accepted in society. Like, there are a lot of gardeners, but gardening and wealth are not necessarily two things that I normally hear in the same conversation. So me like sharing that part of my brand may not be the norm. Some people may look at gardening like you need extra money or whatever the case may be. But it is because I am in complete alignment, right, with what feels good to me and what feels great to me that I'm able to show up refreshed, consistent. Like I rarely miss a broadcast, right? I rarely miss things that I'm supposed to do in my business. And it's not because I am so unique, although I am unique. You are unique. We all have uniqueness. But two things. I've made a vow to myself to do things in my life that are in alignment with who I am, right? Not because it's popular, not because I see everyone else doing it, none of those things, but because it feels amazing to me and it's producing a profit in my own life, right? I sent an email to my list today called "You Need Peace to Prosper." Many of you may have seen me say that statement a few times on social media, but I kind of broke it down for them today, and I showed them a little area of my personal area that I go for peace. So those on my list kind of get some of the behind the scene things that I don't always, share online, but I believe that you need peace to prosper. I'm not saying that you can't earn revenue or good revenue even in chaos, because I've done that. Okay. But there's a different feeling and there's a different flow when we have peace about it. Procrastination begins to dissipate when we're doing things that are in alignment with who we are, right? So remember, I said, I don't believe you have a procrastination problem. I believe you have a truth problem. I don't believe you're being fully honest with yourself about what feels amazing to you, not to social media, not to the world, but your unique truths, what you feel, what you like, what you enjoy, even if those things don't seem to be the most popular things, they're in alignment with who you are. We can look at that as it relates to even your business. There are tried and true things to do on each and every platform that will move the algorithm for you, that will increase the interaction for you on social media. But some of the things are completely out of flow for you all. Now, I'm not saying that everything that you do in your business is going to be something that you absolutely love. I believe there's a season in your business where you are the business, right? You're the marketer, you're the advertiser, you're the person that's enrolling the clients. You're all the things. And there is a space where, you know, you begin to delegate those things out, or you find out that some of those things aren't necessary in your process in order to make it happen. So many people are procrastinating because they are out of alignment. They are completely out of alignment with their unique DNA and how it's best for them to build their brand. One of the things I love working on with my clients is branding. Not your websites, not your logos, not your pretty pics. You'll see I don't have like these super fly graphics. You know, I have words and pictures. And I'm not saying that those things aren't important, right? Because impressions are lasting. But what I feel, hey there, what I feel that many people are doing in their brand building process is opposed to really going within and finding out what's in alignment for them as an individual. They're just doing all the things. They've downloaded all of the get rich quick freebies. They've taken all the free webinars. And I think those things have a place. I do webinars. I have freebies. Matter of fact, I have one for you today that I think is going to help you tremendously. But I think people are just gravitating towards things that are not in alignment with how their brand has to be built. Is this making sense to you guys? Right? So I don't believe you have a procrastination problem. I believe you have a truth problem. I don't believe you're being honest with yourself about who you are, what you love, what you like, what you enjoy, and how you really want to do this. And not necessarily because now everybody's doing TikTok or Reels or all those things, and nothing, absolutely nothing is wrong with that. But one of the things you have to remember with your brand is, can you keep that same energy? Can you keep that same energy? When I think about different things that I want to do in my brand, so branding, for the most part, is a long-term vision for sustainability for your business. There's connection, is storytelling, it's complete alignment with how you want your brand to be seen in the marketplace, right? And the easiest way to do that is from a space of who you really are, right? Your values, what's important to you. And when you're out of alignment with who you are and who your brand is, yes, you procrastinate on it because you don't really want to do that. Let me give you some reasons why you procrastinate. Number one, you don't really care about the goal. I know some of these reasons might sting just a little bit, but if you are really, really honest, do you care about the goal that you set? And it's okay, right? If you set this goal that is really not super valuable to you, you set it because it's the buzzword or that's what others are shooting for or whatever the case may be. But sometimes procrastination comes because you don't really care about the goal that you set. Now you can shift that, right? You can gravitate towards caring more about the goal when you attach it to a why that's big enough, right? But we procrastinate when we don't really care about the goal, because when we care, we find things that are in alignment that allow us to hit it. So we're in April now. Many people set goals at the beginning of the year who have fallen off. They've fallen off. Now this says Facebook user. I'm not sure who. I don't know why it's not telling me a name. That's the craziest. They don't line up with my energy, my mode of operation, or how I want to be received. See, somebody's listening whenever they can put it in their own words and just nail it. That's beautiful. I'd love to know who's commenting. It's just saying Facebook user. I would love to know who this is. Hello, either way. The next reason you may find that you procrastinate is the task is uncomfortable. Now, I think if you're not being challenged, you're not growing, right? So this means we're back to mindset, because money is the easy part. Remember, mindset is the hardest part. So if you feel that the task is uncomfortable, um, you have to think about how it's going to allow you to grow. Okay, beautiful, Andrea. You have to think about how the task is going to allow you to grow in the process. It should be challenging if you're going to grow. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about the fact that whatever the goal or the task is, you can always break it down. You can always break it down. And one of the things I find for us as believers, I'm a believer, uh, and for those of you who are believers, this has been my journey, right? So at the end of last year, at the end of every year, I spend a little extra time with God, just kind of finding direction for the new year. And I usually have like a word or phrase or something that's laid on my heart. And for this year, it was trust. Now I was a little shook because I was like, okay, I already trust you, God. What is going to go on where I need to trust you on another level? But what I've actually found is a level of trust that is actually causing things to manifest that have been on my list for a while, that I've been wanting to manifest anyway. And because I'm in such a space of trust, I don't have shiny object syndrome, meaning, I mean, I can see things and they look great and it's a great idea and it may be working for someone, but I'm always reminded to kind of go back and say, is that your flow? Is that your lane? Right? And so because God laid that word trust on my heart, it's kind of like this, what could I call it? Something that lets you know, it's like this monitor, right? So I'll hear it periodically in my heart and it'll shift me, right? To make sure that I'm staying in my lane. Now, there are some things that I'm exposed to or I see that are, I feel it, it's divine. The sound is the same as my spirit or the energy on the inside of me. I know it's that. But when we're not in a space of awareness, everything sounds good. We want to do all the things that all the people are doing. But you have unique gifts, right? And you have a unique journey. And when you get in alignment, the procrastination, listen, the procrastination that you're experiencing in your business and in your life with your goals and all those things, they will begin to dissipate. Remember, I said, I don't believe you have a procrastination problem. I believe you have a truth problem. I believe you haven't been being honest with yourself about what it is that you really desire, what you really want, what feels good to you, what is your truth. Now, I want to be really, really clear because some people will take this and run with it and feel any type of discomfort that they have in their business is not meant for them. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you get clear on who you are as a brand, what are the things that light you up and find things that are in alignment, procrastination will stop. Procrastination will stop. It'll slow up. You won't experience it as much. So remember I said the task is uncomfortable. Let's see. The task is a waste of your time. If you feel the task is a waste of your time, and this is how you know that it may not be something that's really in alignment with you or for you in this season. If you feel it's a waste of your time. Now, the thing about this is you have to identify what is a waste of your time. Because many of you do things every single day that really are a waste of your time, if we could be honest. And I know this because that was me. I looked at the amount of time I used to spend watching TV. I haven't watched TV in years, literally in years, unless I'm watching a program with my daughter. So other than that, I'm listening to trainings and things of that nature. But I was just looking at the amount of time spent on television. And at this time that I stopped watching TV, I was actually transitioning, right? I got to the point where my consulting business was no longer my side gig, right? Because I started in 2012 part-time when I still had my brick and mortar business. And at some point I just decided, look, wherever you put your energy, that's what grows. And my desire was for my consulting business to grow. And so I knew that the majority of my energy, it needed to be there if I wanted to see results. And to this day, it's the best decision I could have ever made. So some of the things I was willing to sacrifice. So when you feel that the task is a waste of your time, you'll procrastinate on it. And how you shift that, like if it really is something that you should be doing because it's attached to a bigger why, how you shift feeling that it's a waste of your time is to attach your why to it. For many of you, you've been wanting to come out of whatever role you're in now for years, for quite some time. And you have to attach your why to that. I did a really short broadcast yesterday. It said, your energy needs to match your future and not your past. And see, when we hear the word energy, I mean, sometimes it can sound masculine because it might be like you got to be go, go, go. No, it just needs to match. It just needs to vibrate on the same level. I hope you guys are hearing me. It just needs to vibrate on the same level. So another reason you procrastinate is nobody's holding you accountable. Nobody's holding you accountable. Now you've gotten this far alone by yourself, right? Listening to YouTube and, doing the freebies, taking small classes or courses or whatever that may be, not with a whole lot of accountability. But there's really no one who is, checking in with you, emailing you, coaching you, connecting with you about this thing that you said you want to do. So it's easy to bring the energy from your past into something that new that you're wanting to create. So without accountability, it's easy. Listen, we all need some form of accountability. For those of you who are parents, sometimes the accountability is those emails from the teachers during this virtual season. Y'all don't hear me. How easy is it to overlook an email? Or we have an app called Remind where my daughter's teachers send different things and assignments and things for them. And then we get the one call now. So we have 3 different modes of them connecting. And I love all of them, right? Because it's a space of accountability for me. And so if we think that's something that's normal, that we really prioritize, most of us are, I don't know too many people who don't really value the progression for their children, right? And if we need accountability there, then yeah, we need accountability for this new thing that we are trying to do. I don't think you have a procrastination problem. I think you have a truth problem. I don't think you're being honest with yourself about how you really want to do this thing, what's really in alignment with you. And first and foremost, this is the most important. Most of you don't know what you want. I know you said what you wanted, but if there is no burning desire, if you haven't gotten really clear, and for some of you, the only reason you don't know what you want, because what you want doesn't seem possible because of what you're watching all the time, or maybe because of some of the things that you've experienced in the past, where you need that mindset shift, right? So no one, when I first started coaching and consulting, 6,000, 10,000, those figures didn't seem, real to me. I don't think I thought about them originally, like 10 years ago, right? But my clients are paying me 4 and 5 figures to work with me. Those were figures that I was accustomed to, but the amount of time, right, that transaction is taking was a mindset shift that I had to make. I had to say, yes, that is possible. Did you guys know that your price is really just a number? Lord, have mercy. If you only knew your price is really just a number. So many of you are like, well, what should I charge? What number? What do you want to charge? And see, when you shift to that number, then you get an alignment with the person that can charge that. And many of you have value right now. that's already at that number that you're thinking, that higher number that you're thinking. But because you haven't made that mindset shift, right? Remember I said the money part is the easy part. The mindset is the part that's difficult. The mindset is the part that's difficult. So I want to offer you guys, it's completely complimentary. It is called the Limiting Beliefs Guide. I'm going to put that in the comments. And you can go right here, sign up. It'll automatically come to your email. I think you do have to confirm, so make sure you confirm it. But it's simple, it's quick. It's like 7 beliefs. They're simple but impactful that I just want you to think about and ask yourself, do I think these thoughts? Is this how I've been seeing or thinking about money? Because when you begin to, one, become aware of how you're thinking, right? See, remember I said we procrastinate on things that seem challenging to us. But when we make those mindset shifts, we move and flow into those things with so much greater ease. And then we attract with much greater ease as well. So I just want to offer you the opportunity to download the Limiting Beliefs Guide. It's like 7 beliefs. Take your time. Really think about it. Remember I said, I don't think you have a procrastination problem. I think you have a truth problem. So you got to be honest with yourself and say, do I think this sometimes? And once you've read that, maybe a couple times, you'll begin to become aware of your thoughts around money, your thoughts around earning money, and all of those different things. And it's going to help to shift how you show up. I'm telling you, it's going to shift how you show up. And guys, making money does not have to be hard. That's one of the beliefs that you're going to have to shift. That I'm sure I have that in that limiting belief, guys. Do you think that earning money is hard? Because if that is a thought, you will only do things, you will only hear things even that are hard things to do in order to make it. I don't think you have a procrastination problem. I think you have a truth problem. And my prayer is that when you download and go through the Limiting Beliefs Guide, that you're able to shift some of those limiting beliefs that have actually been the reason that you've been procrastinating and keeping you stuck, so that you can shift and move into this new next place of abundance that you're supposed to walk in, or that you've been desired. For many of you, it's not even because you've been in lack, but because you want to break through to this next income ceiling, and you still have a limiting belief that's keeping you from getting there. Okay, so that's my take on this evening. Money is the easy part. Mindset is the part that's your biggest challenge, right? So you can go to renewfulcircle.com/LB, renewfulcircle.com/LB, and you'll get that Limiting Beliefs Guide, and you can kind of ponder on it, and then we can catch up next Wednesday, same time, 9 o'clock, Build with Tanya Live, or you can message me here or in my message box on my business page. I don't have Messenger on my personal page. And just let me know, like, what stood out for you, what shifts you made. Mindset is one of the huge parts of the work that I do with my clients. We do the technical things and, marketing and all the things. But we center a lot of it around mindset. Actually, in our academy, which is open for enrollment, I have a complete portal. It's called the Mindset Mind Your Business Resource Portal, with mindset trainings and things like that my clients can listen to throughout the day. So they can put their headsets on and their earbuds, and they can listen to those different trainings. And I add new trainings and power nuggets to that all the time. And this is outside of the work they do, building their brand, working on their destiny, their dollars, and their disciplines, because I understand how important it is. And I know that if we've had these thoughts for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, then it's not something that necessarily happens overnight. Now, sometimes there's just like this shift. Something is really, really centered, and you get it, and everything in that moment in time shifts for you, even how you show up. So that's my take. Grab the Limited Beliefs Guide. I spelled, let me see if I can change that up here. I don't know if it'll let me do that. Let me see if I hide it, will it let me? Okay. Okay. Yep. I changed it on spot. So the limited beliefs guide, renewfulcircle.com/LB. Remember, money is the easy part. Mindset is where the challenge is. That's my take. You guys have a good one. Peace.